Butterfly. I'm your host, Ebony Butterfly. Today I have my very special co-host, my favorite son in the whole wide world.
Hello everyone, and also the only son, so not a hard competition.
He doesn't know if that's true or not. Say hi, Adrian. This is Adrian, everybody. Say hi, Adrian.
Hi, like she said, I'm Adrian. I'm visiting in town for a few days from Boston, and I think we're going to talk about my new company today.
We are. We're going to talk about... So Adrian, 25 years old, is a graduate from UGA, and has just started his own company. He's an entrepreneur, and I think that is so fantastic.
Finally took the
I
leap.
think that is so fantastic. And finally took the leap at 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adrian, tell us about your company.
Really, it's a simple premise. I think that people should be able to learn how to do different types of analysis in Excel through hands-on learning.
Okay.
When I started my job...
Okay, so different types of analysis in Excel. What do you mean by that?
So, okay, I'll give a specific example. When I started my job at the private equity fund, I had to learn how to do financial modeling. So making like income statements and balance sheets in Excel. And to learn how to do that, I had to watch videos of people doing it. And just for me, that was not a productive way to learn. So I want to give people opportunities to actually try the things they're doing and get step-by-step instructions.
So you're going to lay out a format. So are they going to come to your website and buy the
courses?
They're going to buy the courses.
Yep.
Okay, and you are going to design the courses.
Exactly.
That they're going to buy. So do they buy one course? Do they buy 20 courses? Do they buy a block of courses? How does it work?
So in terms of the pricing model, I actually haven't hammered down that specifically yet. There's two kind of ways I'm thinking about doing it potentially. If there's enough content that I think will be up there, I could do like monthly subscriptions, and so they just get access to all the premium courses. Mm-hmm. The other alternative would be to sell the individual courses like one-off. So like I have a simple 3 financial statement model one for free, and then I have like a more complex like LBO model for $50 that you can get that lesson. So like there's a couple different ways I can make it work.
So who would be drawn to your business?
I think it's 2 main groups. I think we're mostly talking college students who are like looking for internships or preparing for work, mm-hmm. or professionals who are trying to make a career switch. So I think that's kind of the dichotomy. And I think the long-term goal, though, would be great is if I could get companies to use this software to train their employees on like internal in-house analysis or setups that they have to do.
Oh, okay, so like if maybe if they're starting a new project, or just feel like they're like if their employees just aren't up to par.
Well, not necessarily up to par. I'm thinking new employees, like when they hire someone.
Oh, new employees.
That they have to get up to speed.
Okay, absolutely. So, how do you plan on getting this out into the marketplace?
So I actually have hired a development team to start building out a prototype. Really, it's more of a beta because it will launch. It's not just a prototype that it'll test. Like it'll launch, and then I can get some input and start getting some feedback from users to see what the experience is like, what things need to be iterated on and improved. And then once I feel like the platform is in a good place, then I can start going to companies to try to see if it's something that can be useful for them.
What's your time frame?
I think we're probably going to launch sometime in the next 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so you told us like why, but like what was the inspiration behind it, or like what just made you be like, okay, this is something that I really want to do, that resonated with you, and just
I think because it's what resonated with it because it was so personal to me, and I know that there are other people who I've talked to who have the similar issues. Like they want to learn these things, but the current mechanisms aren't really designed to optimize learning. It's just throwing content at you. And with this method, you actually have to engage and go through it step by step. And for me, that's a much more effective way to learn. Okay,
right, absolutely. So you think that in 3 months you're going to put it on the market?
Yep.
And then in that time frame, so you've got a marketing team now.
Yep.
Trying to help you. So in that time frame, what are the numbers that you feel like that you're going to need to be successful?
Yeah, so in terms of building up before the launch, what I'm trying to do is we have a mailing list that I'm trying to get names onto. And I think we're aiming for a few thousand people on that list by the time we launch.
Okay.
And so that will give us enough of a pipeline at the beginning, at least to make sure we have people that are coming to the site using at least the free content to maybe potentially get customers that we can monetize in the future.
Okay. And are you looking for advertisers and things like that, or?
I don't know if we're gonna do advertising yet. There's a couple different marketing channels that we could use, and I think we're going to try to have a really in-depth discussion about what those will be. But I don't think we've nailed down which specific method we want to use. Advertising might not be there.
So you're saying that this is something that when you were coming out of school,
Yep.
that you felt like you really could have used.
Exactly.
And you've been out of school for how long?
3 years.
Okay, so even within, so you felt like you could have used it then.
Yep.
And have you found anything within the time frame that you've been out of school?
No, there really isn't anything that kind of gives you that hands-on practice and guidance, right? So there's kind of two extremes where it's either, okay, here is just the answer and there's no guidance or direction or what's it doing, or it's way too in the weeds and you're just watching someone make the model and it's like not valuable.
So would you use this in a job interview?
You could. I think that's a potential. I think it's honestly mostly for training new employees. Would be the thing.
To get them up to speed to where you need them to be.
Exactly, and like show them your processes, how you think about things. Even if like you were an investment banker at one investment bank, the other investment bank is going to do things slightly differently, have different ways that they structure stuff, and so if you could teach that process very quickly.
So you say investment banking, what other companies could utilize this program?
So right now, the way I'm thinking about it is focusing on companies that do financial development leadership programs. So those are programs for students right out of college where they spend 3 or 4 years in like rotational programs in different parts of the business and finance. And when they're doing that, each of those different parts of the business has certain ways of doing things and have to learn those different tools and processes, and I think that group could really use this tool.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's really fantastic. So, so I'm trying to think of where else we could edit some of this out. Like where else we could go with this. So
okay. Talked about timeline. Talked about why. Talked about who the customers are. I can talk about what I'm trying to do next.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. So after you get all this established and developed and you get out there, you try to find your client base and everything.
Yep.
What's the next step?
So I think the next big thing that I'm going to need to do is to raise some seed funding. So try to raise maybe $200,000 to really build out a larger development team, a more focused effort on that, to get to that enterprise version of the product, which I hope would be able to get to that within a year. If to have the enterprise version that at least one customer is using, or at least beta testing, and have that be available for customers and then see if there's real traction and start to try to actually scale this.
Okay. I feel like, I mean, I know you're my son, so I feel like it's going to be successful, but I feel like that you're doing something that you felt that you needed.
Yeah.
Right? And
exactly.
And have you talked to other people in your field that have felt like this is something they could have used?
Yeah.
Okay, you're like, absolutely.
That's kind of what, that's why I was like, oh, I need to do this. And, it was kind of actually one of those, like, aha moments. Like, I was
Eureka, right?
Yeah, I was doing Codecademy, which is this website that teaches people programming, and there's, like, an in-browser IDE in development environment, so you can, like, type the code in and run it in real time.
No idea what you're talking about, but yeah, let's keep going.
Well, but basically it teaches you to code by, like, actually doing it.
Okay.
And I was like, it'd be awesome if there was the same thing that you could do, but to learn how to do stuff in Excel.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that has to exist already. Then you start Googling, and you're like, oh, I guess nothing's obvious. And then, you like spend a little more time Googling, and the next thing you know, you've spent an hour looking up alternatives for Excel, and you find that there's nothing out there like this. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
And
so
after that, I was like, I can do this.
You're like, I can do this.
Yeah, I can make it happen.
Oh, okay, great. Well, okay, so we're going to end this. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being such a wonderful child. I want to thank you for just having the vision to
Yeah.
start something, to do something else that's outside of the box. You know what I'm saying, Adrian? We love you and wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And you know what my sign off is?
I do not.
You know what my sign off is. Remember to raise your vibration.
Is that really your sign?
Yes, it's my sign off.
Remember to raise your
Remember to raise your vibrations.
Okay,
Bye. See, this is like
That's not your sign off, is it?
what? Yes, that's my sign. Remember to raise your vibrations. Bye.